Hour number 3. This is Prater in the ball game right here on Idaho Sports. KTIK, the ticket. You'll still have opportunities this hour to become the next Boise State season ticket holder. We can get you qualified for that. The big drawing will be on Friday, of course. We do it 3 times a day, Prater, for this week, next week, and the week after that. It's the big contest we do around here where we try to give as many people as good a chance as possible, my friend, to become a Boise State season ticket holder and hopefully fulfill a lifelong dream and something that a lot of people would not be able to do under other circumstances. But thanks to you, JP, myself, and everybody involved with Boise State, we can make that happen. Yeah. Steve won it last week.
Nice. Love it. And I can't wait to do it all week long for the next 3 weeks as well. So touchdowns for tickets, our favorite thing around here. And going to do it one more time in the next half hour, right?
Yep. And we're also going to talk the blue. We're going to talk a quarterback who we don't think is going to play NFL football anymore, and he's had a marvelous career, and he played on the blue. And we were thinking, man, has there been a player, a quarterback who's been on the blue, who's had a better career than this guy? We want to examine when he was on the blue. How'd he do? That's going to be a fun one this hour as well.
Nice. I like that.
So good stuff. I don't know if you guys were paying attention to rookie mini camps over the weekend. A lot of people do. Most people probably don't, though, when thinking about this. And I want to start with a lesser name because I just got the information on this. And this was a name that we heard during the draft process a little bit. I'm talking about corner Tyreek LaBeouf, okay? Most known in Boise for the 100+ whatever yard or 90-something yard interception return against UCF, the first game of the 21 season. He was in and out of the lineup last year, as you know, Prater. And I think BJ had told us that there was a scout or scouts that talked to him that liked his length and athleticism. Tyreek announced on his Twitter page last week that he had received an invite to Seattle Seahawk rookie minicamp, which means not a contract attached to it. It's just, hey, we're somewhat interested in you. Come up, show us what you can do. It's obvious everybody knows what type of corner Pete Carroll likes. And they look, Prater, like Tyreek LaBeouf. That doesn't mean he's going to be the next member of the new formed LOB, but good for Tyreek LaBeouf to get a rookie minicamp invite to Seahawks camp last week. And I don't know if they invite him back or not. We haven't heard anything on it yet, but he was up there and fulfilling a dream, putting on that NFL helmet.
Yeah, you're saying there's a chance. And
yes,
we'll find out probably by this week. I know OTAs start next Monday and Tuesday, and we're going to do this kind of an angle every day this week leading up to next Monday when everybody needs to be there for the most part. I mean, OTAs, I think for the most part, are mandatory.
Maybe if you're Aaron Rodgers with the Green Bay Packers, you can be like, I'm going to do something else.
Exactly. So, yeah, we'll find out more. I mean, LaBeouf's not added to the Seahawks roster yet. No word on whether he's going to get invited back, but all you need is a chance. And a guy like that with some confidence, he's got some film, he's got some tape, he's got some potential. I'd like to see Tyreek LaBeouf at least get that kind of shot. It didn't work out at Boise State, but he's still out there trying to play some football, and that'd be a pretty cool deal if he could stick there our ball game.
Yeah, a little hard for me to imagine him making it to the NFL when he had a hard time making it on the blue, but who knows? Different schemes. Maybe he's been a lot of things can come with that. So we'll keep an eye on Tyreek LaBeouf. A couple of the other guys who weren't drafted, Prater. I see Caleb Biggers is on the Cleveland Browns roster. They had it last week too, but Prater, I'm going to be honest. I've searched all over the internet today, and I could not see or read or hear anything regarding Boise State former corner, also to Caleb Biggers and what he's trying to do to make the Browns. I do know that he was a signed undrafted free agent.
Same kind of deal in Tennessee with Ojukwu and Jones. Not a lot of information there as they went through their mini camps there. We know that those guys were invited there, and we'll see how that shakes out. But, the bigger news of the weekend certainly was Skinner, certainly Matlock. We got some contract information. I know JP read that stuff on the show on Friday. Each, about a $4 million package right out of the deal. They got to sign their numbers. It just looks pretty cool. We talked about this at the top of the show. Just going into an NFL locker room, seeing your jersey, seeing your name, walking out through the tunnel, walking out on the field. I don't care if it stops right there. That's a pretty cool lifelong dream. Now, for Skinner and Matlock, I think it's going to go way beyond that. this was the start of it, and it just has to be emotional for these guys. Ball game,
man. Yeah, and Skinner spoke to the media. We played a couple of clips on that. We might even have some more coming at you a little later as he met with the media. And as Prater said, he was just typical JL Skinner with the media. Makes people fall in love with him as a guy.
always says the right things.
Straight shooter all the way. JP, do you have the first clip of Skinner that you aired a couple of hours ago? I want to go back and play that again. I thought this was typical JL. And for those who didn't hear it and are just hearing it now, this was him meeting with the Denver NFL media, kind of on a get to know you basis. And here's what Skinner let him know.
I'm just a football player. You know what I mean? That's really the best way to describe it. You know, things I could work on, just covering those smaller slots, you know, really just getting acclimated to the NFL game. But I'm just a ball player, you know, and do everything to contribute, you know, do everything for us to win, you know, do things like that. So I just want to, you know, just continue to become a better player and just develop in every way. You know, there's not one thing I want to continue to develop in. I just got here. You know, I'm not, you know, nowhere near where I was supposed to be. So just continue to develop every day and, you know, just learn from the vets, learn from everyone around. So
there you go. Always saying the right thing, doing the right thing, and just taking care of business. So grounded, so smart, and he's so impressive of a young guy, physically and mentally, and how he handles it. So I think it's pretty cool.
I hope he stays healthy, dang it. You know, I hope we don't look back 5 years and play the what if game at this level with JL Skinner and say, dang it, his body couldn't keep up with his spirit and he just got hurt too much. And that happens with so many NFL hopefuls. Hopefully that's not with JL. What I wanted to talk about too with JL too, like you talked about it earlier, you know, he just says what's on his mind. A couple of years ago, remember when he told us how awful he thought he played his sophomore?
I do remember
season?
that, yes. And he stuck around for like during the holiday break to work on stuff.
He refused to go home after the season during Christmas, and he told his mom, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to be in the weight room every day. I'm going to stay on my diet here. I don't want to interrupt anything regarding my routine and come home for a couple weeks. I didn't have a good year. And JL probably right then and there thought, you know what? The NFL might slip away. I need to get that dream back and make it a reality. And that's what he did. I remember, but most players, we've interviewed all these guys. Most players wouldn't say that. I had a crappy year. I think he gave himself like a C-.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Like we're like letter graded, like C-. I was horrible. You know, like it's not good enough. And
I wonder if the NFL dream for him really kind of just clicked there mentally, because you know he certainly still had some ups and downs with the targeting and being available and injuries and not showing up for all those games, but he took care of himself. I think he came out of Boise State more prepared to play in the NFL. Mentally, I think he was totally focused. I bet you there was a lot of soul searching that went on during those 10 days, 2 weeks that really made a difference in his life.
Well said. What about Scott Matlock? He signed his deal, same type of thing that Skinner got, the 4 years, $4 million. And he was able to put the pads on, that powder blue, the white number 99.
Oh, that looked good.
Lightning bolts there.
That looked
Scott
good.
Matlock and the lightning bolt are like peanut butter and jelly,
Ooh,
man. I love
good.
it with the 99. Prater, I think you're going to see some dudes walking around Boise repping a Matlock 99 jersey. We'll have to see on that. But it feels like everybody right now. Hell, we had Charles Davis on this show last week, telling people how much he was intrigued and how much he liked the potential of Scott Matlock. It seems like he's everybody's All-American down in LA right now, man.
Very popular, very popular. You know, he got popular during the off-season workouts. Pro Day is when he really took off with some of the results. The national media loves him. You can find his name out there on all kinds of lists with the national media. I hope that his reality catches up to the hype that's out there right now. I never thought I would say there's a lot of hype out there about Scott Matlock, but it's really kind of cropped up over the last 30 to 60 days, and it's beautiful to watch. We think his ceiling is so stinking high and his potential out there. He's just learning this game. He's learning how to take care of his body. He's learning to go out there and just be this violent, physical football player. And I think the next he might not be a rock star over the next year or two, but I think this dude's going to be in the NFL for a long time and will be a very solid player by the time he's done.
I love it. And the other guy that I was paying attention to and didn't really read anything on him either, I looked, and I'll be honest with you guys, there's not a lot written about rookie minicamp. I think it's almost as pointless of a function that the NFL has, right? There's just not a lot of info on it.
I would imagine most of the time where's the bathroom? How do I sign up for human resources? You know, Give me the combo to my locker.
Absolutely.
That kind of crap and nonsense.
Yep, totally. The ABs and Cs of becoming a pro.
Because when OTAs start next Monday, if you're asking the coach where to go, you're already behind the 8 ball.
Good point, man.
Yeah.
Good point. You got to be ready. But George Tarles.
Oh.
If a guy whose personality, and Boise State fan knows the personality of George Tarles, if there was a helmet that fit that personality, the autumn wind is a Raider. He wears a hooded sash. Mike Prater, George Tarles wearing Raider gear was kind of cool online. I liked it.
I love it a lot. Here's a little nugget on George Tarles, and we haven't shared this publicly yet. But we tried to get George Tarles. This is where George Tarles' mind is.
Okay.
Don't forget, George Tarles played football at Boise or Weber State, came out of Bora, came back to Boise State, didn't really get too much of a chance, and then he got hurt, the big injury, and only played a half a season last year. We weren't even sure he was going to get any kind of an NFL chance, but we all love George Tarles. He's great.
He's colorful.
When he moved to Boise, we had him in the studio. We fell in love with him. And then all of a sudden, he's out there cranking after his injury and trying to land on an NFL roster and completely focused. We lost track of him a little bit there, but once he got back into the NFL circles, once the Vegas Raiders signed him and picked him up, we reached out to George Tarles and asked him to come on our show, and he turned us down because he said he was focused on I'm going to Utah for a couple of days. I'm on my way to Vegas for a couple of days, and I'm just focused. I don't even have 10 minutes of time. I'm 1,000% focused on making this gig. I'm going to stop and lift weights every 15 minutes along the interstate. I made that up, but he's focused and he's detailed and he has a plan and he doesn't want to waver from that plan, even if it means 10 minutes on the phone with Prater in the ball game. At first, I was a little bit bugged. You don't have 10 minutes for your fans, for people around here.
And he loves us, too. He always comes on, dude.
And he always gives us a high five when we see him. He's always got the big smile. And this is in no way, shape, or form a criticism, but an observation that George Tarles is 1,000% locked in. And he knows he has one opportunity, and he has no time for anything but that opportunity. That's his mindset right now. And I'm kind of digging that ball game.
Did you just now think of that?
I did.
Yeah, because I didn't think about that before when George Tarles dodged us. Well, what's the word we could use? He
turned us down.
He turned us down. He
I
said
felt like
no.
I was on the high school dance again when the pretty girl said no.
Yes, he said no to us, and I didn't think of it like, you know what? Hey, little respect there. The reason he did is he's got one tiny little. And let's be honest, George Tarles has one tiny little chance to make the NFL. So he's just going to do everything in his power whatsoever to take advantage of that. And that includes skipping 10-minute radio interviews here in Boise, talking about what it felt like to get a call from the Raiders and a tryout and all that stuff that hopefully we can do at some point. But yeah, he's George Tarles, all beeswax, man.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I hope he gets a chance. I think in Vegas, did he get the try? Well, no, he signed an undrafted free agent deal.
Yeah.
So he's there for more than a tryout.
It was different than Tyreek LaBeouf, who had just got a minicamp invite, I believe.
Yep.
Probably, hey, well, here's $1,500. Get up here. We got a hotel room for you, and we'll let you know.
Come on, George Tarles. Make it. We won't know until the fall camp. I hope he can at least hang until fall camp. If he can hang at least until fall camp, I think he's got himself a pretty good chance to make the practice squad.
What do you guys, anybody listening, remember was it the MPC Computers Bowl when Matt Ryan and the Boston College Eagles came to Boise and narrowly defeated the Boise State Broncos in what was Dan Hawkins' final game? Does anybody remember Matt Ryan in that game? Text us, call us, let us know. We want those stories because Matt Ryan called it quits, and we're trying to think of, the great quarterbacks who played on the blue, who had great NFL careers. We came up with Matt Ryan, and we wanted to revisit a little, Prater. Matt Ryan on the blue in that bowl game. So if you remember that, text us, let us know. We also have touchdowns for tickets coming up this hour, so we'll give you another chance to qualify for Boise State football season tickets. Prater on the ball game, Idaho Sports Talk, KTIK, The Ticket.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studios, this is Ticket Traffic.
This afternoon, we have quite a bit of